If you don't like mutants, then they're your worst nightmare.
What are you doing?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Brotherhood of Mutants members.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
For this list, we're looking at Brotherhood members from any medium. That means we're considering TV, movie, and all comic book incarnations equally.
Welcome to the future. Brother.
Number 10, the Scarlet Witch.
Wanda, Pietro, allow me to introduce Magnus, your father. What?
The daughter of the original team leader and a founding member, the Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful beings to ever be part of the team. Despite not fully accessing her powers during the time with which she fought with the other members, Wanda's probability-altering powers always made her a force to be reckoned with. Despite the fact that she left the group never to return as soon as the original incarnation of the team disbanded, Wanda will forever be associated with the group and vice versa.
This is the age of miracles, Doctor.
Number 9, Quicksilver.
You guys won. I didn't do anything.
Much more hot-tempered than his twin sister, the Scarlet Witch, Pietro too joined the team due to family ties, but he seemed much like a better fit. Able to run at superhuman speeds during his tenure with the team, he throws himself into any fight with reckless abandon.
If I could save time in a bottle.
Leaving the team at the same time as his sister, Pietro's life kept him much more connected to the plight of mutant kind, which allowed him to just barely edge out his kin in this list.
So what's in it for me?
You kleptomaniac, get to break into the Pentagon.
Number 8, Havoc.
I couldn't believe it. I got these powers growing inside of me. Man, I was freaked out until Magneto clued me in.
A one-time leader of a Brotherhood team, his defection to the dark side was a ruse he played on the world in order to keep tabs on the evil Dark Beast and X-Man. This former member of the X-Men still holds an important part in the history of the group. After faking an attempted assassination on J. Jonah Jameson, Havoc convinced friends and former foes that he now felt that Xavier's dream was futile and formed a team to combat any hostile human beings. For a time in the comic books, he was the true face of the Brotherhood, and as a result, deserves to be included here. Number 7, the Blob.
Did you just call me Blob?
When it came time for the Brotherhood to recruit new members, they turned to this larger-than-life mutant right away.
Maybe you ought to worry about yourself.
An outcast from society, Fred spent many years after his mutation turned him into an obese man as a circus freak that was mocked and maligned by customers, which fostered in him a great anger that was easily exploited. A member of many of the incarnations of the group, Fred served as a loyal soldier for several different leaders.
Is that supposed to hurt? Eat some sidewalk.
Need salt.
Number 6, Pyro.
They call me Pyro. In the mood for a hot date?
This Australian mutant from his very first appearance was a member of the team and spent most of his appearances in all mediums alongside his allies. Taking part in the ruse that they had all turned into heroes that called themselves Freedom Force, Pyro was fully willing to go along with whatever plan that was presented to him as long as he saw what he could gain from it. Capable of manipulating even the smallest flame with his mind and turning it into a raging fire, Pyro will forever be most associated with the group that he was an integral part of for so long.
G'day! Don't you just love a good Barbie?
Number 5, Toad. The first mutant, other than team founder Magneto, to join up, Toad was under the illusion that Magneto loved him, and after spending his life being mocked and hated, that was all he needed to follow him into any situation.
I did it, mister! I did good, didn't I?
Serving as a whipping boy and gopher under the leadership of his supposed friend.
What about him? He's cool. Heck, wasn't for him, them jocks would have stomped my skull flat.
Toad would eventually rebel when it finally became clear to him that Magneto was using him. Still wanting to find the fellowship of a group, Toad recruited a few former members and more new ones and founded his own short-lived version of the Brotherhood.
Don't you people ever die?
Long considered the most pitiable and sympathetic member of the team, Toad will always be the heart and soul of the group, even if he never takes part in it ever again.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
Number 4, Sabretooth.
Scream for me.
A Brotherhood member and main villain in the first X-Men movie, Sabretooth, despite taking his place amongst this mostly elite group of mutant villains late in its existence, absolutely deserves his place on the list.
I did before, didn't I? Oh yes, you did that.
Sadistic and brutal, Victor Creed would slit your throat as soon as he'd shake your hand. Taking part in several different incarnations under multiple leaders. If you can convince him to take part, he will be willing to commit nearly any and all acts of violence needed.
Lesson number 1, Gertie. Never trust nobody.
Number 3, Juggernaut.
Come out, wherever you are!
Most notably a member of this elite villainous squad in the X-Men film canon, Cain Marko, for years, was one of the most powerful characters in the entire Marvel universe. In X3, Cain's origin is altered from the books, making him a no-brainer for the inclusion in the Brotherhood.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Even in the comics, however, where he is human who is granted powers from a magic gem and not mutation, he is so powerful that even though he's not technically a mutant, he was included when he requested it.
I'm not a mutant, tin head. My powers are magical.
That attests to just how powerful he is, and how valuable having this unstoppable juggernaut on your side truly is.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but tanks will never hurt me.
Number 2, Mystique. Unlike our previous entry, the powers that Mystique possesses do not make her all that powerful in a battle, in comparison to most humans. Traditionally lacking in any offensive abilities above those of an agile, trained fighter, Raven, as she is sometimes known, may not be an obvious choice for the second most important member in the team's history, from that point of view.
They say you can imitate anybody. Even their voice.
But if you've seen any of the movies, television shows, or read any of the comics about the team, then there was never any other choice.
Step away!
Mystique is a brilliant strategist who uses her ability to mimic the appearance and voice of any person she chooses to create mayhem and anger in any group she targets, and can use that ability to gain access to information or locations that no one else could. A natural-born leader, there is only one other character who has more of an effect on the Brotherhood.
And you're a fool, Pyro. I asked you to come here because I thought Apocalypse might find some use for you.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Yes. I will wait for you on the mountain.
Now hurry, I have a friend who can help you. I'll take you to her. I don't know. All this is happening so fast.
How about trying that with me?
Sure, and you should have watched your back, Charles Xavier.
And once I'm in her mind, I can use my power of illusion to create whatever reality I choose.
Number 1, Magneto. You had to see this coming. How could we have ever picked anyone else for the top spot than the founder, leader, and eventual enemy of this group of powerful mutants?
When the Brotherhood of Mutant Terrorists and I are through, humans will no longer have a place on planet Earth.
After spending his early years suffering at the hands of the Nazis strictly because he was a Jew, this master of magnetism vowed to never let his people become the target of the ignorant ever again.
Let them pass that law and they'll have you in chains with a number burned into your forehead.
His militant outlook on the world never allowed him to make a defensive position, instead opting to attack and take the position of power he felt that mutant kind deserved.
Fool, you still dream of peace with those who would destroy all mutants?
When the X-Men stood against him, Magneto saw strength in numbers and gathered mutants who were like-minded or at least willing to follow to his side, and the rest is history. The figurehead of the argument for mutant supremacy and immensely powerful, there could be no other choice for number 1.
Magneto.
Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite Brotherhood mutant? For more comic book top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.